Hey, Teklians, welcome to episode 29. We're going to talk about colonizing space. We're going to do it, all right? We're going to go out there and we're going to colonize it. So strap on your little boots and get yourself a little snacky poo, because we're going to go colonize space. What's up, Joe?
What's up, Chris? I don't have a tie.
You have a gigantic Christmas bow tie.
It's a Christmas tie. It's all I had at the moment because everything else is in storage, and I folded it very delicately and professionally to look like a bow tie because I'm awesome.
Like a boss.
What to do this week? We have a bunch of changes. No, we don't. We have one change, though. If you go to our schedule page, our very own Riskit did an amazing job of making that. Give yourself a pat on the back, buddy. You do it? All right. Did an amazing job of revamping that. Before it was just a calendar, like big month view calendar, and we only do stuff on Sundays, so everything else was blank. So he took care of that. We just deleted it.
Boom. I just said, schedule. We don't need a schedule. We just do stuff whenever.
But that's our change this week. We don't have changes. You didn't give me anything. We're going to change things more often.
The schedule is a pretty major change. It looks very nice. Oh, also, if you go to the home page at the very bottom, it will show what's coming up next week. And if you're on any of the other pages, like live, hat tip of the week questions, looking at all the other previous videos on the website, over on the sidebar, it will show the 3 next upcoming episodes.
We have
made a few changes, putting a lot of emphasis on coming up episodes.
Shut up. We actually have one very dear change. It only applies. Yeah, that's right. Cry it out. Cry it out. Cry it out. All right, big baby, you done? Right.
Your mom's done.
Okay. We have one very big change that only applies to this week. Hopefully, you will notice it is gone.
The missing hat.
Horse Colin has been taken ransom.
Yeah.
I need somebody.
Your turn to cry now.
I need somebody to hold me through it.
Last time I held you, things got weird, so I'm not doing it.
We promised never to bring that.
We fell asleep. There was cuddling. It was weird.
We promised never, ever to bring that. That was the other. That didn't happen yet. Never mind.
Hey, you want to see what I found the other day? Look at this. I have a top hat with ears on it. Look how beat up that is. Bought this years ago. And I was wondering, where was that top hat? It was like shoved in a box somewhere. But look at that.
Are you going to wear that for the rest of the episode? Yeah, that's working for you, man. That's definitely... Yeah, you're bringing it back. Yeah, definitely bringing it back. All right, that's... Okay. I'm going to just leave this hangout now. I'll see you guys next week.
So what do we need to do to colonize space?
Get there.
Why do we need to colonize space? Let's start with that. Why would we need to be out there?
We don't. We do not
yes,
need it. No, we don't need to colonize space. God will provide for us.
You go ahead and count on that.
I pray every day.
No, you don't.
God doesn't know that.
So one of the reasons why we would need to colonize space is because we have limited resources here on Earth. When we run out of stuff, it's going to be gone.
We need to colonize space because, as you said, we have a very limited number of resources here on Earth. Because space is cool. Because humans are boring. And because pretty soon we're going to be an overpopulated planet.
You also want to ensure the survival of our species. If we're just a single planet species...
Actually, we are humans, so you might want to rethink the whole, if our species should survive thing. Just saying, we don't have a good track record for being a good species. But hey, we need new planets to kill. That's actually, that is why we need to go to space and colonize it so that we can then destroy what we then created.
Because we're almost done destroying this one, so we got to start over somewhere, right?
All right, I'll actually let you take this away now and be all serious about it. Why do we need to colonize space?
Well, like I said, we've got limited resources. We can go and start asteroid mining and get all kinds of rare metals that we have very, very, very few of here. That you think we've got a lot more of certain metals than we actually do, and it's actually very rare. And they're like gold and stuff like that is very important for like microchips in our electronics and conductors and
It is.
magics.
It's not just for jewelry.
Nope. That stuff is everywhere. It's a very good conductor.
It is rare, but there are also asteroids out there that have plenty of it, depending on where in the solar system the asteroid comes from and stuff. There are asteroids out there that are like platinum, like just almost all platinum and stuff, like rare metals and
There's that planet out there that's
diamond.
all diamond.
Yeah.
So also go back to the ensure the survival of the species. If something is coming to crash, if we're just a one planet species and something comes out and wipes out that planet, you just wiped out the entire species. If we're on multiple planets in multiple solar systems and it wipes out a planet, not to say that like, oh, that's okay, we've got more humans out there, but we do. So, we're not extinct in just one crash.
Because we have more.
Yeah. We've got extras laying around somewhere. You can just put them together and be like, do it! Repopulate!
And the challenges we'd have to overcome would inspire global cooperation. That is actually why we aren't there yet, because we cannot seem to get people to inspire global cooperation.
Right.
We just cannot get people to get along. People don't like people. Just what I've learned living on this planet, especially if that person is different. If that person is different, we don't fucking like them.
How dare you have different opinions than me?
How dare you? And that's why we have all these countries. And we shouldn't have countries. We should just be a planet. We are a planet.
Exactly.
We'll just kill all of ourselves before we get to space.
We just hate ourselves. We're like, we hate our own kind.
We're gonna like bomb somebody, and then they're gonna bomb somebody, and then they're gonna bomb us, and then we're gonna like be like, oh, but in our last attempt we'll send out one more bomb to like 6 different countries for no reason, and then we'll all be dead except for me and you, and we'll just keep doing the show.
Basically. We'll just get into the Teklian starship while it's all going down. Broadcast it out into the cosmos. There are other creatures out there who are willing to listen.
A lot of technology we'd have to invent in order to get there. There's a lot of technology we don't have that we need. But there's also a lot of cool inventions that have already come out of NASA.
Exactly. I was on this thread somewhere looking up things long time ago. I think it was one of the other space or science themed episodes we did. And I remember somebody talking about how space exploration is just a big waste of money, and it's just, it just hurts us financially. We don't get anything out of it because we're not out there doing anything. It's like, here's a list of things that you have because of NASA, because of them going out into space. You can't just like go on Amazon or eBay and be like, oh, I need this, this, and this because I'm going to go to the moon. It's like, no, nobody's ever been there, so you need to invent the ways of doing it. You need to invent the tools. So water filtration, water filters, that came from NASA. Cordless tools, because they couldn't just, plug a tool into the outlet on the outside of the space shuttle to repair something. They needed cordless tools. So anybody using cordless tools, support the space program. Safety grooving. The little lines on highways? Like, this was developed on the runways so that the shuttles had more of a grip. So that if it was wet, then the water had somewhere to escape. That's also why there are also lines on the tires, so that the water has somewhere to run through, so that you don't like hydroplane. So that safety grooving, that's all over highways and freeways. That was invented because they needed to be able to safely launch the space shuttles and land.
It's like so many things that we today though take for granted. Long distance telecommunications, cell phones, should I say? That's thanks to them. Baby food.
Baby food is a big one. How about shoe insoles? Your feet don't hurt when you're walking around because you got nice, squishy, soft shoe insoles, which were developed for the boots.
What about selfies?
Selfies? Everybody likes to take selfies. You couldn't do that without NASA inventing camera phones.
They gave us the small lenses needed for the cameras and phones to make selfies. So next time you take a selfie, think of me. Because I told you about NASA. Don't think about NASA.
And then send Joe the selfie.
And then send me the selfie.
He'll forward that to me. I'll forward the thank you, the formal thank you to NASA.
And then you will actually find your photo on the Teklian page. There's a contact us thing. You can just forward it to me. My email's on there. My dating profile. Okay, all that's not true except for the dating profile part. That's actually my dating profile, that website.
Teklian.TV is our outlet for doing whatever we want, and Joe uses it as his dating profile.
That's
and
right,
now we're taking off. Going out to
Starship.
colonize space right now.
We're
You and
going
me, Joe.
away. We're going to colonize space.
We gotta colonize the whole solar system.
I'm gonna talk a little louder from here on out.
I'm just gonna start yelling.
Don't yell at me. I can't take it anymore. Handheld vacuum cleaners. We didn't mention the handheld vacuum cleaners.
NASA invented that.
They invented all of it.
Invisible braces. The company Invisalign would not exist without NASA.
In your thermometers. But no, that's just... NASA's made so many things that have already been incorporated into everyday life. Why can't technology to get us to other planets, or even out into space and live in like a space station or something, be incorporated into everyday life? Why can't that become everyday life? I don't know. People see that as like an impossibility. Like it's not worth trying. It's a waste of money. All the things we overcome trying to reach these goals give us new technology that has already advanced us here on Earth.
If you present them with new challenges, they will have to invent new technology.
Exactly.
And we will all benefit from that,
Believe me.
as we always have.
I will benefit from it the most.
So support NASA because I really want some more cool shit.
I will benefit the most. Hold on 1 second.
All right then.
No, you're gonna wait.
I think he's gonna go take a poop.
I lost a little styrofoam mic pop thing. Can you hear me?
The pop filter?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah. If we're doing a short episode, that can go off for a little bit. Warm enough.
So if we're gonna colonize space, you would kind of think that
colonize first. What are we going to colonize first?
Well, you would probably think that we're gonna colonize Mars first, since it's the closest.
No.
Yeah.
The moon is the closest.
Oh, what the hell wants to live there?
I want an amusement park on the moon.
Well, then go freaking build one. No one's stopping you.
I already did. Nobody goes because NASA didn't invent the technology to get there yet.
I told you need to advertise.
They have no way of getting there. I'm not sharing my personal transport with humans.
You have like 5 billion square feet of empty space on your transport, which you use for like hoarding tacos
and bananas, because it's always a party on the JSK-19 Teklian starship. At least on my side.
You don't want to know what kind of stuff goes on my side.
I really do not want to know. I don't want to know at all. It's probably just collections, like filing cabinets of wallpapers. Just
I print out all my wallpapers
and file them, and it's just hundreds and hundreds of square feet of filing cabinets filled with wallpapers. Because we don't need technology.
We need wallpapers, and we need the most popular plan, I guess, to colonize the solar system is to colonize Mars. Mars has 38% the gravity on Mars. So if you want to figure out what you're going to weigh there, I weigh about, let's see, 190-ish. On Mars, I would weigh 71. So that's cool. A little bit lighter.
My doctor would be telling me to gain weight instead of lose it if I lived on Mars. But no, the thing is, if we lived on, like, if we started colonizing space, that's another thing we'd have to, like, change is our unit of measurement. We couldn't go by weight anymore. We'd have to go by mass. We'd have to. Because your mass is the same no matter where you are. Except for mine. It fluctuates. There was a nebula and an explosion. Chris just wouldn't come to help me. I sent out an SOS, and my mass fluctuates occasionally. Particularly in the, we're good.
Go on. We're on air.
We're on air. We are. No, I'm not going to get down there. It's okay. They can find out where my mass fluctuates later. In my farts. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything else to say.
So if we're going to get to Mars, you want to get there when it's, the closest, right?
Yes.
34.8 million miles, which is 56 million kilometers. If you're using normal standard of measurement, you're not in America. We're going to do things our own way. Rant.
So it's just a nap away.
No. Average distance is around 140 million miles, 225 million kilometers. The Mariner 7 took 128 days to fly by it in 1969. The Viking 2 took 333 days to land on Mars in 1975. The Curiosity, the one we just sent out there, like last year-ish, took 245 days to get there. Do you want to be crammed on? And these are unmanned ships, which means they don't have to have things like life support and, living quarters, exercise space, whatever kind of things they have on there for like pinball machines and whatever, blinking lights. So a manned craft is going to be much larger, and it's going to need to be able to propel itself more, need more fuel, which means it's going to take longer than these. If you have nuclear rockets, that could reduce the travel time to about 7 months, so you're still cramped on there for 7 months.
Is that reducing travel time to 7 months still just being a little probe it's sending out, or is that 7 months if it were manned?
If it were a manned ship. If they had a Vasimir rocket, which is a variable specific impulse magnetoplasma rocket.
Sound it out.
Magnetoplasma rocket. It uses radio waves to ionize propellant out the back of the spacecraft using a very powerful magnetic field. That could reduce travel time to about 5 months. But guess what? We don't have either of those technologies yet. 1 milligram of antimatter could propel a manned spacecraft to Mars in just 45 days.
And 0.5 milligram of JSK-19 bottled fart, 13 days. Order now. Pay shipping and handling, of course. I'll send you a second bottle free. $19.95, folks.
But wait, there's more. Order in the next 45 minutes and we'll give you a bonus order
of Riskets bottled fart perfume,
which you can use to dab on your neck and woo all the ladies
while you're blasting away to Mars. We're doing that just for you, viewers. Just for you.
Buy my fart.
How cold and hot is it on Mars?
It's between negative 87 degrees Celsius to negative 5. That's cold.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I live in the United States of America. I don't speak your jibba 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 temperature here.
Get a converter and welcome to the rest of the planet.
Yeah, well, here in America, we use Fahrenheit and inches and feet, smiles.
Well, Mr. America over there, negative 87 degrees Celsius is negative 124 degrees Fahrenheit. Fartenheit. Negative 5 degrees Fahrenheit is negative 5 degrees Celsius is 23 degrees Fahrenheit. So 23 degrees. It got pretty cold over there recently, didn't it?
Yeah, it was fluctuating between about 18 and 27 the last week.
Imagine if that was the 20-ish was as hot as it ever got.
As hot as it ever got.
So yeah, you would kind of need to power your own heat. So how would you power it? You might want to use solar power, right? No, because you're so far away from the sun that it's much less efficient at those distances. You're not getting as much of the rays from the sun.
So what are you going to use?
Call now and get a nice fresh bottle of J.S. Kennedy's farts to power all of your heating needs.
Multi-purpose.
No, it's not multi-purpose. It's two purposes. You power things and you scare people away.
We are not done with the episode yet. There could be more purposes.
We'll invent the purposes as we go.
Like my amusement. And your amusement. And the amusement of all the viewers.
What kind of effects does long-distance space travel have on the human body?
No, wait. I had one thing I wanted to say about powering shit on Mars. Seriously.
All right.
I don't know much because I'm not like an astronomer or...
Because you're American?
Geologist or something like that. I could do a Google search, but Google's over there. My keyboard's right here. So I'm just going to say I don't know the composition of Mars. But if they have a core, I don't know what they do. Could they use geothermal energy? I don't think
Ben and
that
Jerry's has a core now.
the apple I was eating had a core.
Yeah, it's because you're eating it wrong. If you eat it from the bottom, there's no core. But spit out the seeds, because then you might die.
I'm eating it wrong? Are you telling me I've been eating apples wrong my whole life?
We've all been... Well, I saw a video, and I saw the thing that if you eat it from the bottom, there's no core. But then I tried it, and it was disgusting, so I said, no, you're doing it wrong. We've been eating bananas wrong. Most of the people eat bananas wrong. Did you know that?
How are you supposed to eat a banana?
How do you peel a banana? Where do you start from?
The top?
The stem?
Yeah, I just kind of go like this at the top and just...
But you're considering the stem to be the top, right?
the other end.
The stem actually isn't, like if you flip it over to the little button thing at the bottom and you pinch it and split it, you can split it right in half, and you can actually hold it by the stem while you're eating it. Stem is kind of like a little handle, so that you can get all the way to the bottom.
Speaking of handles, I got some.
Is this fluctuating mass thing again?
Yeah, they just my handles fluctuate.
No, but there was all these videos of showing monkeys eating bananas in the wild, and that's how they all do it. They knew. We didn't, because we're stupid. Mars also lacks a magnetosphere, and its atmosphere is about less than 1% of comparison to Earth's, which means Mars has extreme amounts of ultraviolet radiation beaming down onto the surface.
Is the magnetosphere like a ball?
From X-Men.
Yeah, is that like a ball where they keep Magneto locked up?
Yeah. It's exactly what it is,
So
actually.
we have to clone Magneto, put him in a ball, and then send him to Mars, and they'll have a magnetosphere. Boom! Science solved.
Yep. Every planet is supposed to have a magnetosphere.
Science was solved.
We did it.
We did
It's
it.
done.
It's done. Everything in the history of the universe has been solved because of
Because
Teklian.TV.
of Magneto.
Because of Teklian.TV.
I mean, because of Teklian.TV.
Hey, you know what would be cool? Having a measurement of time that applied universally. Universally?
Universally?
But no, right now our measurement of time is based on the rotation of the Earth and the orbit of the Earth around the Sun, and then some random months thrown in that don't line correctly with the Moon, even though it's supposed to, and we don't ask questions.
Which is why we need the 13 moon calendar.
We just pretend it makes sense and don't ask questions because, you know...
We go, this is a new system, this is right, and then we find out that it was wrong, and we're like, but this is the system we've been using, so we can't change it. No room for improvement, ever.
Exactly. But if we were on multiple planets and each planet's going to have its own different rotation, its own different orbit, we need a measurement of time that we'd have to have multiple measurements of time. Each planet would have to have its own based on, you know, a day is a rotation, a year is an orbit, and then it would have to have a second time, which is the universal time that they all can correlate between to communicate with each other.
Yeah, some kind of crazy universal coordinated time thing. Like a coordinated universal time.
And if you don't understand what
thing.
Risk is trying to say, we're trying to say it should be coordinated. Universal.
It should be UTC time.
Universal time.
Check out next week's episode. We're going to talk about that. Did they check it out yet? Are they done?
I don't know. Did you guys check out next week's episode?
Yes, it was wonderful. You guys looked so sexy. It was the best episode ever.
Can someone that checked it out tell me if I got my hat back? Did I have it back? Did she give it back to me?
They're saying yes, but a lot of them are saying no, so they're probably trolls. Or the yes person is a troll.
I think the yes person was a troll. Chris, she took it.
Or did it take her?
I actually think it took her.
We don't choose the hats. The hats choose us.
So I hung out with a friend the other night, and my hat took her. It was actually really weird. She knows I wear a bowler or whatever, but I actually texted her, I'm like, bowler tonight or not? And she goes, no, not tonight, because she thought I was talking about bowling. And I was all depressed. I'm like, but I always wear my bowler.
What's the point of going if I'm going to be incomplete?
It's my bowler. And then, so I'm like, I'm just going to wear it anyway. I don't care if she said no. And then I've come to find out that she thought I was asking her if she is a bowler, like bowling. For some reason, that makes no sense why I would ask that.
It kind of does make sense now that I think about it. Bowler.
I don't really hang out with her much before, but she didn't know she thought I just wore it for the show. She's like, oh, you're wearing your hat. And it's like, let me wear it. It's like, okay. She's like, you're not getting it back. I'm like, oh, so that's how it's going to be. and I didn't get it back yet.
You will. I was waiting for like the real version of that story where the bowler hat took her. It actually flew off of your head,
It was just like,
grabbed her by the head, and flew away. And you were
it
like,
just suctioned. No, it just hovered and just suctioned her up. Just.
just
And she was just like flailing, ah! And the hat just. But I'm not allowed to tell that version of the story because I don't want to get Ors Colin in trouble.
yeah.
Ors Colin. Such a bad
Hat.
I'm a bad hat.
The Bad Hatter.
How am I going to do a hat tip this week? I'm going to have to like.
I'm the Mad Hatter and you're the Bad Hatter.
I'm going to have like a little toy car of Liam's. Just it's a.
Make a paper hat. Make a hat out of paper. You got paper?
No, not really. Wait a second.
We'll continue with the show and you can look up how to make a hat out of paper.
I don't have paper lying around.
Who are you? You don't have paper lying around.
No.
Are you Amish?
Well, I do, but it's not here. It's like
An Amish who uses the internet? You're a weird Amish.
Yes, I am. Also a pretty sexy Amish. As far as Amish goes, I mean, by Amish standards, I'm not going by like universal standards because I'm off the chart, but by Amish standards, it's like, yeah, you know what? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Do we have more to talk about? We didn't even really talk about what we were talking about.
What are we talking about? Did we have an episode planned for today?
Yeah. Something like that.
What about materials? We already talked about that. We talked about that earlier. We'd have to mine shit for shit.
Yeah.
America!
You hurt my tender little ears.
Aw, you'll get over it.
You hurt them. You hurt my tender little ears.
Alright. What's next?
Finding a reliable fuel supply outside of Earth. Fossil fuels aren't going to cut it forever, right?
No, fossil fuels aren't going to cut it forever.
They shouldn't even be cutting it right now.
So, but that's a really tough one. I guess some planets might have it, but not all are going to have fossil fuels. So we really need something other than fossil fuels.
I mean, I don't think you're going to find it unless you found a place that had life a long, long time ago.
But coming soon to a solar system near you.
J.S. Kennedy's farts.
That's right. J.S. Kennedy's
It's going to
farts.
roll into your solar system like a big old dark cloud.
All right, this is the last thing we have to talk about for this episode before we do our hat tips. What is a reliable fuel source that we could use? We don't have one.
Antimatter.
No.
We need to make it.
We don't need to make it. We need to harvest it.
We need to make it.
Let's make it.
Harvest it? Are you just going to go over to an antimatter tree and just pluck little antimatter berries off of the fucking antimatter stem and then squish it into your little antimatter thing?
No, I'm gonna sneeze it out. How else do you make antimatter?
By making the thing and then you reverse the stuff.
Reverse the polarity.
Reverse the polarity of the neutron flow.
Reverse the jelly babies.
Reverse the bow tie of the Alonzi.
The thing. Reverse the thing.
Yeah, that was a kind of a thing there.
All right, so what's going on next week?
Next week we're going to talk about that UTC thing that everyone's been talking about. You and I have been talking about. We're everyone.
Well, I'm everyone. You're just
no one.
Not no one. Just nobody.
No one in particular.
That guy.
That guy with the top hat.
No, just that guy that looks like my grandpa.
I'm just grandpa. So next week we're going to talk about time zones. Do we need them?
And how they are bad for you.
If you use time zones, you're going to get a rash.
And I will market to you something else. Maybe. Might be the same thing.
It's probably going to be the same thing.
There's going to be a lot of horsing around and farts talking.
That's pretty much the future of the show from here on out, because we are a vlog. We are not a tech news show. There are billions and billions of other places for you to get your tech news. You're going to get it from us. You're going to get all kinds of other stuff.
We just basically read you the headlines of the tech news, and then we have some jokes thrown in with a little bit of information that we just got from them. We're not tech. We are tech people, but we're not professional tech people.
We're not pros, but we like it.
We could now consider ourselves pros since we do the show. We are now pros because we have a show.
We're pros at the ridiculousness that we do. We are professionals at that.
All right, everybody. So next week, join us. We'll talk about time zones and how you may or may not need them. You can submit us questions, Teklian.TV /thingamabobber questions, right?
The only kind of slash you use in a URL.
That's right, that slash. And you can contact us. Tell us how pretty my face is. You can tell Risket he looks like your grandpa. So join us next week.
Have your grandpa actually contact me. We'll hang out. We'll go get like some prune juice and fall asleep in the park.
That sounds like a plan.
That sounds like a Saturday to me.
All right, next week, everybody.
Be there. Or don't. But you're going to miss out. Or you won't.
I've trained my shoes to obey my every command. I just say, tie yourselves! And they're just like,
I have shoes. This is going to be very
you fall backwards. Fall backwards for the show.
Look at this. I got laces on my boots.
But there's a zipper on the side.
That's cheating.